And that is Helen Keller there with a very strong point. They're talking about optimism, hope, and confidence. You're welcome to the conversation showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, 2S Television. And as always, my name is Merciful Ajinomo, coming to you live from Nigeria's federal capital city, Abuja. And before we bring you the big story, that's the crux of the conversation, let's read some updates across Africa. We begin with this story on the United States considering easing travel restrictions to southern African countries as the infections rate of the Omicron COVID-19 variant is on the rise. Top infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci said on Monday. And the Ivory Coast dockers have suspended a week-long strike while negotiations are held with the government, a union spokesperson said on Monday. Protests in the city of Goma in eastern Congo on Monday over worsening insecurity left a police officer and at least 2 civilians dead, police and civil society said. It's that time I will bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa. But before we do that, I have to tell you, it's very, very important that you make sure you are safe and your neighbor, your friend, your family members are also safe. And how do you do that? Follow all the protocols and guidelines your countries have laid out for you. We'll bring you the COVID-19 updates from across Africa, and after that, the big story. It is still the conversation, and as I'll always say, you have to be a part of our community. That is our social media community. And how do you become a part of it? You have to follow us across all our social media platforms. That is at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And our website is right there to stay updated on happenings in Nigeria and, of course, across Africa. That is www.tostvnetwork.com. It's the big story, and our focus this time is talking about the 2023 elections and INEC's plan to spend 305 billion naira as projected expenditure. And joining us in the studio this time is Olubumi Ayatunji, convener of the Policy Roundtable. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Pleasure. I'm very, very good.
Good. So ahead of the 2023 general elections, we do know that INEC yesterday told the National Assembly that they would require 305 billion naira as the projected expenditure. Before we talk about the electoral bill that I've been talking about for a long time now and has not been signed into law, what is your reaction to the amount of money that INEC is pegging?
I won't give you a particular word to cover my reaction, but then if you allow me, I would like to make some explanations.
Okay.
The problem I have with the Independent National Electoral Commission and the amount they've pegged for 2022 is that most of the amount budgeted are the same with the amount that was budgeted last year. Now, you'll be surprised when I tell you that it's only 800 million out of the over 300 billion that INEC is proposing to use to conduct elections. Now, you'll be surprised when I say 1.3 billion was earmarked for Christmas bonuses. Christmas bonuses, and I've forgotten the adjective they used there. And then 10 million naira to maintain crèche. Christmas bonuses and funerals, 1.3 billion for Christmas bonuses and funerals. 10 million to maintain crèches. It's sad that when we say we do not have, the country is going broke, literally, and INEC, that is supposed to be transparent, not just in elections, but to be seen to be transparent in funding and everything, is giving this preposterous figure. And it's sad that if you probe into how much INEC is saying, they're saying they want to use over 200 million naira to conduct audits. It's sad that it is expected that INEC should be seen to be not just transparent in elections, but transparent in the way they spend money. I would have thought that the leadership of INEC would look into these figures from 2021 and look into the projections in 2022 and merge it with the current reality we are facing as a country. It's all right to maintain your staff. INEC staff, the staff strength should be strengthened monetarily and all that. But then, when you budget for things that can go, when you budget for things that we are not fools. Nigerians are really not fools. How do you budget 1.3 billion naira for funerals? How many people would die in INEC? God forbid. And you're budgeting 1.3 billion for funerals and Christmas bonus, and I love that the National Assembly is probing into this. We need to really cut costs as regards I won't say electioneering process, because it's just 800 million naira that is being budgeted to conduct elections, out of over 3.5 billion naira. So 330, how much did you call it again?
302.
302 billion and 5 billion naira. So really need to probe into the figures, and the National Assembly is doing that.
Okay, I do know that some Nigerians are of the opinion that as we go further into the year, as things change, the style of voting changes. Now we're talking about electronic submission result. Of course, it's a different topic entirely. But people are increasing, and people know that 2020 elections is something that people are watching to see, because there's going to be a change in power and everything. Don't you think the money is naturally supposed to increase?
Yes, I'm not saying it must be the same.
Okay.
Am I ever just saying that? If you look at the budget for this year that INEC submitted last year, and the budget that is projected for next year, it's almost the same. That means it's not even, the figures are not even being probed. Okay. If you're saying, okay, things would change next year, figures of commodities would increase, obviously, you can actually state it that it will be realistic. But when you're saying you're budgeting 1.3 billion for Christmas bonuses and funerals, you begin to wonder, like, okay, I hate to say, but how much would you want to buy a coffin or give as extra codes for visiting funerals? And that is aside hazard allowances for the staff on the electoral for the electoral whole thing. So you begin to wonder whether the audit team or the procurement team or the leadership of INEC actually probed into these figures before bringing it to the National Assembly. But it's so nice that the National Assembly is probing into these figures and really rising up to the occasion to check the reality of the
We do hope we get better results. Let's talk about the fact that we have been waiting for the president to assent to the electoral bill for, and I think it's like 32 days now, and legally it was supposed to be pegged at 30 days. It's supposed to say something. I do know that he came out to say a few things last night and yesterday. Before we talk about your reaction, how do you think all of this is going to play out? Talking about people who are expecting the bill to be assented to be signed into law, and what the president said yesterday.
The president, we have read, has forwarded a letter to the National Assembly citing why he would withdraw his assent from the bill. He said insecurity, and we're not ready for direct primaries as a country, and that we cannot force people into direct primaries. But ironically, in 2015, when the president wants to be president, the current president wants to be president, and the election, if you remember, was postponed on security grounds. The president now was asked that what does he think about the postponement? And he said, even in war-torn area like Syria, Somalia, and the rest of
elections were carried out. I remember
that the reason being given by the current leadership as of 2015 then was nonsense, in his words. And now he's saying that because of the security situation that he condemned then, we cannot have direct primaries. It's ironic. The current president too, again, was elected through direct primaries in the last election, 2019. The current, the reigning party used direct entry to bring him in for primaries. And it's so sad again that the whole process of the Electoral Act amendment was politicized hugely.
Why would you say so?
There are other things, I'll tell you, in the Electoral Act amendment that are very, very smooth and would enthrone good electioneering processes in this country. Fast primaries, like early primaries, is there. What to do when a candidate dies before election results is pronounced. Issues of jurisdiction and clash in jurisdiction. Smart electronic transmission of results. Smart innovations that would aid our electioneering processes. But we politicians, or I'll call them political entrepreneurs, actually streamlined all these innovations into direct primaries. And because of that, the president is withdrawing his assent. It is really sad. It's really disappointing and sad.
Okay, so do you think, frankly, that it will be vetoed by the leadership of the National Assembly.
Section 4 of the CFRN, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, vests automatically in the legislature to make laws for the good governance of this country. Section 58, yes, 1 to 5, I remember, talks about these things you just asked me. What the president did might be morally wrong, but it's not illegal. Okay. He has the power to withdraw his assent from a bill. However, Section 58.5, yes, if I remember.
So it's after 30 days, yes?
Yes. Section 58.5 actually gives the National Assembly power to override the president's veto. Now, what we're talking now is the current National Assembly, the 9th National Assembly, would they have the political will or the strong will to override the president's veto? In the history of the National Assembly, only one bill has been vetoed, and that's the bill creating the NDDC. And the history of the National Assembly since 1999. Now, they will be making history, and Nigerians are looking up to them to actually step up and do well for our democracy. I really hope they veto the president.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Olubunmi Ayatunji, for coming on the show. It's been a very wonderful one. And thank you to our viewers for staying tuned on the conversation. And don't forget, it comes to you every Mondays to Fridays. And of course, you can be a part of our social media community. That is at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The website is right there to stay updated on happenings in Nigeria and across Africa. And our YouTube is right there. Like and subscribe so you do not miss out on our amazing videos. My name is Merciful Ajinomo. Bye for now and have a wonderful, I would say, month ahead, because of course we are coming to the end of December. And Happy New Year in advance. Yes, have a wonderful one and bye for now.